debates and consultations with governors, political parties, security agencies, traditional rulers, women's groups, and civil society. Both chairmen stressed that the fate of the amendments now rests heavily with state houses of assembly, which must approve at least 2/3 of the proposals before they become law, as required by Section 9 of the Constitution.
Governor Seyi Makinde has submitted a 891.9 billion naira budget estimate for the 2026 fiscal year to the Oyo State House of Assembly. In his presentation, the governor said the budget is designed to consolidate the state's accelerated development agenda. This year's reporter, Olamikbosi Ishola, completes the story.
This marks the 7th time Governor Seyi Makinde has tabled a budget before the Assembly of the total allocation of 891.9 billion naira. According to him, total recurrent stands at 389.3 billion naira, while capital expenditure is 502.64 billion naira. Governor Makinde said 210 billion naira is earmarked for infrastructure, health 70.84 billion naira, agriculture 19.9 billion naira, while 435.9 billion naira will fund other priority sectors such as security, education, and other critical areas.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members of the House, we stand at the threshold of a new chapter. The 2026 budget of economic expansion, totaling 891 billion, 985 million, 74,480 naira 79 kobo, 891-985-074-480.79. Builds on the foundation of stability to drive productivity and inclusive growth. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is another milestone budget. We are heading closer to the ideal of 60-40 ratio between capital and recurrent expenditure.
Responding to issues raised by the lawmakers, Governor Makinde said all projects going on in the state are targeted towards ensuring accelerated development in the state. The governor clarified that attempts by certain groups to politicize ongoing circular road projects will not impede the government's completion of these projects, which are central to Ibadan land's economy.
I was forced to release from archive the documents to show adverts in Nigeria Tribune newspaper, taking those 500 meters by the right and left on November 21st, 2018. Just evaluated the governor in November 2018. But we are engaging with our people. If you see development party, you are beyond that place. I promised the people when they came under the PGP, if it's about to integrate, or we integrate them. If they think, oh, maybe if we attack Seyi Makinde and politicize this thing, maybe they will vote for them.
In his remark, the Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, pledged the continuous support with the executive arm of government in ensuring effective implementation of the budget estimates. Honorable Ogundoyin appreciated the state governor for working harmoniously with the legislative arm in facilitating meaningful development to the state. Governor Seyi Makinde presented a total budget estimate of 891.98 billion naira, tagged Budget of Economic Expansion, with capital expenditure receiving the highest allocation of 502.6 billion naira, representing over 56% of the entire budget. Olamiposi Ishola, BCS News.
Meanwhile, Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly and Chairman, Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, has described the 2026 budget proposal presented by Governor Seyi Makinde as ambitious, people-centered, and strategically aligned with the development priorities of the state. The Speaker gave the commendation today during the formal presentation of the 2026 appropriation bill at the hallowed chamber of the House in Ibadan. BCS reporter Olamiposi Ishola has the details.
The Oyo State House of Assembly convened a special sitting at which lawmakers received Engineer Seyi Makinde, the #1 citizen of Oyo State, as he presented the 2026 budget estimates. The Speaker, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, noted that the budget was a product of wide stakeholders' engagement across all geopolitical zones in the state, showing the administration's commitment to inclusive and responsive governance. Highlighting the priorities of the budget, the Speaker commended its strong focus on infrastructure, 210 billion naira, education, 155 billion naira, healthcare, 70 billion naira, and economic expansion, describing them as pillars for sustainable growth and human capital development. He assured the executive of the legislators' continued cooperation and legislative backing to ensure timely passage and effective oversight. Separate contributions, some lawmaker representing the geopolitical zones in the state commended Governor Makinde for his giant strides in every nook and cranny of the state. They also solicited more government support through provision of basic and infrastructural amenities.
You have shown that it is possible to be a farmer in Shaki and recognized in Belgium. Again, our release, we are finally got the lesson, but in the past 6 years, the lesson has metamorphosed to the greater city by His Excellency Dr. Seyi Makinde. This has given us, this of us we are looking at you as our godfather, as our leader, as our mentor. It shows that we are not on the wrong path.
The lawmakers reaffirmed the legislature's commitment to transparency, service delivery, and ensuring that every naira spent in the 2026 fiscal year translates to meaningful development for the people of Oyo State. The 2026 estimates budget tagged Budget of Economic Expansion will guarantee comprehensive development across the state. Olamiposi Ishola, BCS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, is currently hosting his Southwest counterparts at the Executive Council Chambers, Governor's Office, Agodi, Ibadan. Governors in attendance include Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke, represented by his deputy Prince Kola Adewusi, Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, and Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji. A communique is expected to be issued at the end of the closed-door meeting. Further details will be provided in our subsequent bulletins.
The Oyo State Pilgrims Welfare Board Christian Wing has notified all intending pilgrims to Israel and Jordan that the first screening exercise will be conducted on Tuesday, November 25, 2025 by 8:30 a.m. at the board's multipurpose hall. This was stated in a release signed by the Executive Chairman of Oyo State Pilgrims Welfare Board Christian Wing, Bishop Ademola Muradeyo. The release stated that the screening is compulsory for all registered intending pilgrims, noting that the exercise forms an integral part of the preparations and qualification process for the holy pilgrimage. All intending participants were also strongly advised to arrive punctually with necessary documentation.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has officially joined the African Democratic Congress ADC, the coalition-backed party he is expected to align with ahead of the 2027 elections. Atiku made the announcement today through his X handle, posting a photo of himself holding his ADC membership card. His move follows his July resignation from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, which had been mired in a prolonged internal crisis. The move has formalized his association with the coalition party, which he had previously endorsed in July as a platform for opposition figures, including Peter Obi and Babachi Lawal, to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027.
On the foreign scene, 3 suicide bombers have attacked the headquarters of a paramilitary force in the Pakistani city of Peshawar, killing at least 3 security personnel and wounding several others. The Jamaat-ul-Ahrar, which is a splinter group of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP) or the Pakistan Taliban, claimed responsibility for the attack on the headquarters of the Federal Constabulary (FC). A spokesperson at the government-run Lady Reading Hospital, Asim Khan, reportedly said all 11 persons wounded in the attack were listed in stable condition. It was reported that the attackers were trying to target more than 400 security personnel who were conducting a parade at the headquarters. It was added that the bombing attack was due to operations by security forces who have attacked TTP members and killing dozens of them in the past several days.
To end this edition of Newscope, the main points again. The federal government has secured renewed commitments from the United States government to deepen security cooperation with Nigeria amid rising incidents of abductions and violence in parts of the country.
The National Assembly said it has held what leaders described as the final and decisive joint retreat on the ongoing constitution review process.
Governor Sheyi Makinde has submitted a 891.9 billion naira budget estimate for the 2026 fiscal year to the Oyo State House of Assembly. In his presentation, the governor said the budget is designed to consolidate the state's accelerated development agenda.
On the foreign scene, 3 suicide bombers have attacked the headquarters of a paramilitary force in the Pakistani city of Peshawar, killing at least 3 security personnel and wounding several others.
And that's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Ajay Doyin Olojede and delivered by Oluyole and
Josephine Oluwabumi. Good evening. Thanks for listening. Do not forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m.